Hi, we are Engineering Brothers, and once again we have come out with our another interesting problem for a block diagram reduction. Additional problem to over here. We have already explained how to reduce our blocks over here, and you can see that we have got four blocks. In fact, not the four blocks, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven blocks over here. And the ultimate objective for our present class is to convert these seven blocks into one blocks over here. That is the one way, that is the only thing that we are supposed to consider over here. And quite naturally you can do feel that these block diagram reduction problems are very essential for us. That is why I have considered this type of additional problems over here. Why? Because ultimately if your concepts are clearer, then you will do complete this type of challenging solutions over here. And my ultimate objective or motto is to show you the full picture while solving this type of problems over here. Ultimately, if you want to clear your concepts for our control system, then you should do more numericals for this type of topic over here. That is why I have chosen this additional section to give you the most justified form over here. And there is some recent objective for that one over here, and that I will disclose in my latter part of my classes, because ultimately we are trying to give you the best form of knowledge in terms of this type of analogies over here. Always do remember that how to clear your concepts. Just do follow this type of conceptual problems over here, and do solve this type of problems while considering all those things over here. That is the main objective over here. That is why I have chosen this section, this additional section, to give you the most clearer concepts over here. Now, how do you start this problem over here? Ultimately, you can do see that we have got here the take up point that is been present over here, and we do know that these are our summing block and this is our take up point. You can see that, and once again we have got this is our another take up point over here. Now if you do shift this take up point after this block of our G4S, and then that is the one way I have formed, or I should have formed a block diagram reduction formation over there. So let us just start that formation over here. If you just do shift this take up point after this block of our G4S, and then ultimately the G4S will be divided, and 1 divided by G4S will be there, and that is been present in series with our H3S, and that is being considered with our one block over there. If you do take the proper shift of this take up point after this block diagram over here. So let us just start our considered point as this is this is gonna be our step 1. Ultimately the step 1 will be, if you do shift the take up point to the right hand side of this block of a G4S, then what seems to be the nature of that block diagram, I'm just going to draw over here. Ultimately we have got the RS. Now this is quite naturally our RS, and this one is our G1S. Now if you are taking a summing block over here, this one is plus, this one is minus, and in our given part we have got the G2S. This one is our G2S, and if you just go for that considered part over here, we have got this one is our summing block over here, which is this one is our plus, this is minus, and this one is our G3S, and after that I think I should make it shorter for a diagram. That will be much more better for me to have that considered part over here. I should use this space. Okay, that will be much more better for us. Now for our step 1, we have shifted the takeoff point after our G4S over here. Now ultimately we have got the step 1. If we have shifted the takeoff point after our block of our G4S, then what is going to be the changed form of a block diagram over here? I'm just going to show you over here. Now in our extreme left hand side we have got the RS. This one is our RS. After that one we have got the G1S. This one is our G1S. This one is our plus, this one is our minus. This one is our G2S. Plus, minus. Now if you have shifted the takeoff point after a block of a G4S, then that will be look like this one. Now from this point we have got the ultimate block for this one should be our S3S divided by our G4S. Okay. And this is going to be our step 1 over here. Now this one is our H2S. And this one is our H2S. Now this is going to be our step 1 over here. If you just do transfer the takeoff point after our block of our G4S, then ultimately the transfer function for this overall upper portion of our block seems to be our S3S divided by our G4S over here, and quite naturally this is going to be our full form of our considered part over here. Now for that next step will be, you can see that the G3S and G4S are placed in series over here, and quite naturally the step 2 should be our these two blocks are present in series. Now the ultimate gain for that block seems to be our G3S multiplied by our G4S. Why? Because as you can see that these two blocks are placed in series. Now quite naturally we do require to make this into our one block over here, which is our G3S G4S. Now what is going to be that one over here? This one is our, that I have written the answer over here, which is G3S G4S. Why? Because these two blocks are present in series. Now for that next part, we do know that what is going to be that format. I am just going to remind you over here. If this is our block diagram, here this is our RS, and after this one, this is our quite naturally our GS, and this is going to be our CS. Now if you have got a feedback path of our HS over here, HS, then what is going to be the transfer function for this closed loop control system over here? I have already studied this portion over here, and according to that previous considered part, we have got the output divided by input for this closed loop control system seems to be our GS divided by our 1 plus GS HS. This is going to be the form for our closed loop control system over here that you can see over here. Now I am just going to utilize the same format over here for this part of our block diagram over here. You can see that, and after that the block will be look like this one. Only the transfer function, if you do consider that this is our transfer function, then ultimately the block is look like this one. So this is our transfer function. Quite naturally this one seems to be our input, which is RS, and this one is our CS, which is going to be our output. Now that is the final block diagram. If you just consider this closed loop format over here, and it is been look like this one over here, so I can do utilize this formulation to have this form over here. And what is going to be the ultimate formulation? The ultimate formulation is GS divided by 1 plus of GS HS. That I will do in our next part of our video over here. If you still have any doubts, please let us know in the comment section for better understanding. Do like, do share our videos, and keep following our channel. Just wait for my next part. If you like my video, so what are you waiting for? Please do subscribe my channel, hit the bell icon for more updates, and stay tuned to the channel. Thank you and goodbye.